No, see.
None. Let's do this from my computer. Yo, I'm about to go home. Call me when y'all done. Yeah, I gotta go talk to some other people again. Or I'll come back in like 30 minutes or so. Yeah, I'm gonna come back. I had another call to do. All right. Okay. How live? What do you mean by live?
Live?
As in like YouTube live? And what are we talking about tonight? Huh?
We don't know.
As we're waiting, did you ever I forget and supposed to follow back up with you on that video I sent you.
Yo.
What was that?
So
Hello.
yeah. All right. So did Pleasure come in yet? Okay. So talking about this R. Kelly thing, right? I'm sure. I don't know if you guys seen the new interviews. Have y'all seen the new interviews where the two young ladies were defending? The two ladies were defending him. Y'all seen it?
I seen one of them.
So R. Kelly, I mean, he sounds believable. You know, he said he didn't do it. The white media says he did do it. I don't know what type of evidence that they have unless they going off what he did decades ago to Aaliyah. You think they just going off that? Because what do they have now that they pinning him on though? What they got? What evidence? I heard it was 50. I heard it was 50 females, right? It was 50 of them at first. Now I don't even know where they at.
Jaman, mommy.
So my understanding is the reason that he got charged again was because there was new evidence, like somebody that worked for him at some point in time, or no, well, actually, it said they still did, but probably not now. They gave the tape to somebody. I'm not sure who, but basically they leaked the tape. Yeah, so they had new evidence to charge him.
But so how would you know the age through a tape?
Because apparently he was saying something about 14-year-old pussy, like during. Yeah.
Yeah.
All I can say is, let me say one thing, right? Before we go any further. Like, okay, we seen what happened. And I'm not saying this is like forget what he did, bad or wrong, whatever. That forget all that. I just wanted us to be careful that we don't do this like the same thing to R. Kelly that we did to Bill Cosby. Now I'm not saying that he's innocent or anything like that, but I'm just saying that we killed instead of just killing the man, we killed the legacy, basically. You know what I mean?
This is my thing about the Bill Cosby thing. I still can't, but like, I don't know if it's that I can't believe it or if it's really that I just don't believe it that he did it, like Bill Cosby. But R. Kelly, I definitely feel like he did something. Like he did it basically.
I'm not saying whether he did it right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, forget for instance, don't kill his music. I mean, he's a pedophile, whether he's a pedophile or not. I'm just saying, just at least don't kill his art. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, they're trying to do that to Michael Jackson now. You're trying to kill his art. Like, if you want to kill the man, go ahead, kill the man, but don't kill his art, though.
Like, don't take away from the legacy.
Exactly. Something. It still means something to someone somewhere. You know what I mean? Not maybe not the man himself, but maybe the song, maybe the reminds him of certain things. But now if they can't get that song again, or you know what I'm saying, it's hard to find. I'm saying you might be taking away something from someone. You know, I'm just saying we just need to be careful of that, not to assassinate somebody until we get all the facts.
And look, and just to bring his music up now, while all this shit is going on, would one of you still turn on an R. Kelly song and bump to it?
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't kill
the. See, we afraid of. Say if we riding down the street with in the R. Kelly music, motherfuckers will look at us like we crazy. But motherfucker, I like the music.
That's
Now we afraid to even look. Now we gonna be afraid because how other people gonna perceive us after if we like the music, we like the music. So we gonna stop what we liking just because or how another motherfucker gonna feel about us because he going through some shit.
At the end of the day, they gonna feel some type of way about something anyway. So if that's gonna be the reason, then let it be the reason. So like I personally,
go ahead.
I don't have his music on my phone. I never really did though. Maybe a couple songs they was featured on, or like classics, you know. But when it came on, like, you know, when I was like with my friends and stuff, I wasn't like, oh my God, turn it off.
Right.
I'm still gonna listen to it, I guess, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Don't kill the art, man. You want to kill the man. Go ahead. But I mean, I still would like to watch the Cosby Show.
Can y'all hear me?
I love the Cosby Show. That is like one of my favorite shows.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Jay.
I just want to say, you know, if you're keeping the principle of you know, don't kill the art. No, wait, what? Don't kill the man.
The legacy.
Wait, kill the man, but not the art.
Right.
You know, if and I think there's, you know, some other people that are saying that too. You know, we got to keep it consistent where there has been like when I listen to some Black people talk, there's been things that have been invented by certain white people who we don't acknowledge anymore because we found out they were racist, you know? So it's like the same thing where we're using technology or certain things by white people who got it in certain, you know, horrible, you know, ways or how they were, and we don't really butcher them, you know what I'm saying? To that extent. So King Kufu thing was right, you know what I'm saying? The messages were inspiring to people because I just found, like I said, I don't really listen to music like that. I found out that video was actually R. Kelly. I thought it was a movie scene that I was seeing on my Instagram as I was scrolling through. But my mom was like, yeah, you don't remember you sung his song when you were in first grade about You Could Believe You Could Fly? I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was his song. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And that's not to mention all the other songs he wrote for other people.
Yeah.
So he wrote songs for other people also. So,
he wrote songs for Michael Jackson.
Exactly. So, I mean, you can't just say fuck the man's music and all that stuff, man. It's funny how, again, I'm not like, I guess this is a thing with celebrities. Like, if one celebrity gets, I guess, a charge against them, everybody just starts flooding the scene. You know what I'm saying? They all of a sudden, all of the stories corroborate real easily. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's innocent, but I'm just saying it's just funny how all the stories corroborate. And they all come out at the exact same time.
Right?
You know, it's just funny how it always happens like that. Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson. I mean, you can damn near go all down the line.
It's basically, you know, it's basically like a law of momentum. Just like, oh well, someone just opened the door. Let's all just do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you see one person, like let's say there was like from Inspiring thing, you're talking about like how like a 4-minute mile used to be impossible to some people or some shit like that. And when this one guy like ran the 4-minute mile,
he beat it under like 4 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, right after he did it, at first the people used to think, oh, you would die if you did that. Right after he did it, then people just started doing it even shorter.
Right. Because they thought it
So
was impossible until someone stepped up
now
to
if you
do
take
it.
that principle and put it to like, gossiping, it's like, yeah, well, we're all gonna be quiet, we shouldn't talk about this stuff. But then one person talks about it. It's like, oh, okay, boom, boom, boom.
Makes sense.
So it's like momentum it's just like law of momentum kicking in, and and not so positive. Well, I mean positive and not positive way.
I mean, that makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's how it works. It's like even back in high school, you find out one guy or girl was doing something low key, and all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we know, we know what we ain't saying nothing until that one person brought it out, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, 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 she, her, him, what?"
Right. You know what?
That's it.
Let me ask Essence, how you feel about it? Do you think R. Kelly did it? But based on what the songs that he made, because he's a sexual song maker. So
I feel like this about it.
that's about it, right?
We
Because the
know for
songs he
sure
made.
he did it once. Like we know for sure he did it once. And I feel like there's not he's this big famous person. He get bitches. But at the same time, if he has a preference for little girls, it's like he can't be open and out there with it how he would if it was a grown woman. So of course it's going to be a super secretive thing, and it's like if the people that worked for him are starting to come out and talk about it, that would make sense.
But they
Because
are though. That's the thing.
that's what I'm saying. Why would they lie? Like they have no reason to lie. But the girls, it's like, okay, they may or may not be lying. But with
But,
the employees, it's like they have no reason to lie at this point.
but then if that's the case, then they are an accessory to rape.
This is true.
Right.
This is
So
true.
So then, if that's the case, then why would you then? Because you're not granted immunity. Why would you then, on camera, admit to saying, or even insinuating that you've seen or have heard or whatever that this man has been accosting or approaching young women? Now
Honestly, I feel like if it's something
Mm-hmm.
like that and it's wrong for a fact, like 100% it's wrong, but you have to be quiet about it, it's gonna eat away at you. And it may have gotten to a point where they're like, okay, I need to say something because I know that wasn't right, and I, to make my peace, I need to say something.
But for 30 years,
I mean,
30
is it a
years
time period
as
on
an
it?
employee.
Is it a time period on it?
Right. I
Is
mean,
it a time period on
Y'all don't. What y'all not
making peace
understanding
with the
is the
situation?
cult. Is when you read the 48 Laws of Power, you understand what they're doing. I know people like to say, if you're, for example, the other day I was walking with one of my friends, quote unquote, just a dude that lives around the block from me, and turns out, he had something on him. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, yo, if the cops stopped y'all, you would have been, guilty too or some shit like that. Because that's, how we identify. If someone has something and you're with them, even if you're oblivious, you're guilty. I understand that mindset or that principle, but it doesn't really play out because if now I know someone is doing, if I know there's something I'm against, right? When you read books like the 40 Laws of Power, you understand that the leverage of just knowing if to talk about it or say something or address it. So either you just don't affiliate with those people, because if you address it, you're going to go into situations like what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one time on my block, someone got shot. You know what I'm saying? I decided to call the cops. The way they came up with questions, I said, yo, all I heard was pow. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But they was flooding me with all these sorts of questions, thinking that I knew more than I know. So I was just like, damn, it was better off I just didn't even call the cops and just stayed in my house and just, mind my business. So the reason why sometimes people don't speak up on certain things is just like, okay, if you speak up, then that's when you really pull yourself more into everything. And just like, yo, some people don't want to have time to deal with all that, this and then the media and the this and the news. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, fuck that. If I had a 14-year-old girl that I knew she was 14 and this nigga was around, I would have had to say something right then and there. Fuck that.
I mean, that's what you're saying.
Here's one thing.
I'm pretty sure you're around people now that's doing shit that you're not saying.
But here's one thing that I don't think a lot of people take into account. Now, if your 14, 15-year-old daughter is with a known pedophile, why are you letting them go even be around that type of person? And you are the legal guardian, so you can actually pull your child forcefully.
Listen,
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to wait for police. Forcefully take your child from whoever it is, and
That never happened.
Actually,
ever.
well, technically, children have free.
You know what? That
children
never
have
happened.
Children have a level of free will these days where the parent can get in trouble themselves.
If you're a parent, trust me, I'm
That's
a parent.
issue.
If my kid is around a pedophile, you're not coming around my kid.
Oh,
period.
Yeah.
You understand? At all.
Period. Yeah.
Like if you touch my kid,
I'm getting you up out of there.
Basically.
And I'm getting you up out of there. If you are, I'm dragging your ass up out of that motherfucker.
ASAP.
I feel like this.
It's a touchy topic
there's no way
that's end all be all right there.
As a parent, there's no way I would let my kids be around something or somebody that I know will cause or can cause, maybe cause harm to them. Like, there's no way that that's happening. Right. So for the parents to even like, I don't even understand the mindset that the parents had to be in to allow these things to happen, because there's no way that this could happen. Like, how I feel about my kid, like, nothing is touching them. And if you know that this man is this type of person, why? Like,
not in the four corners of hell.
Your kids? Like, I don't know.
It don't compute. Crazy. It don't compute, man. I'm sorry. This just doesn't compute. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Well, yeah, you're right, because the keyword just said if you know. So yeah, if you know. I was thinking in terms of where kids do things parents don't know and they think they know.
But you have a parent on TV saying he got my kid against her will, blah blah blah, this blah 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 that. Bitch, I'm coming in your house to get my kid. You understand?
I ain't got to go. I ain't got to go to the newscast. I'm going up in there.
Right, I'd have been there. Like, I'd have got locked up for breast
and one of the daughters said that their parents was putting them out there.
Yep. R. Kelly said his parents, their parents was putting them out there. Like, even in the interview, right? R. Kelly said the guy's parents was basically, I guess, blackmailing to put his daughter on stage or whatever.
On stage, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that's like, even if you can like look at artists around, they've been blackmailed to do other shit, like stupid shit like that before. So it's not like it's nothing new. So I mean, it's not like something that's like far-fetched to believe. So if I see a parent on TV saying you got my daughter against the will, then I hear him say a story like that, it's kind of like, okay, well, something's not really adding up all the way. Maybe I'm not saying he didn't do some nefarious shit, but some of that shit has got to be kind of far-fetched to be saying you got a harem of people in your house and they can't go eat, sleep, shit, piss. You know what I'm saying? That's just fucking stupid. I'm sorry, but ain't no black man gonna do that. I mean, I can expect a white person. I'm sorry, but I can expect a white person to do it. But ain't no black.
Not no famous nigga like that.
Man. Exactly.
Come on now. Come on, R. Kelly.
But no, his wife did say that he did it to her too, though.
His wife probably lying too.
She confused. She doesn't know what she wants to
do.
Just
to sell a book. Her book about to come out.
Think about all your exes, right? I'm pretty sure you broke up with them for some fucking reason. It wasn't good.
Yeah,
so I'm pretty sure if you bring up that name, I can run down a list of all the fucked up shit they did to you. You know what I'm saying? Or did to me. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody come to you and say, hey, I need you to say something about R. Kelly. What did he do? Blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure they're not going to ask, oh, who did he give money to? Who did he help? You know what I'm saying? They're going to ask you, what did he do? Who did he fuck? Blah, blah, blah. They're going to run up. Give me the shit. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to ask you, put you on camera to say nothing nice about the guy. So you got to use a discernment sometimes when you listen to this shit. Like,
So the whole time this nigga was alive, he ain't never did nothing good. Everything is negative towards this man. Everything.
But the minute he ain't making no money, everything goes downhill. Oh, he did this, did that. But I heard that he was trying to buy NBC. So
Bill Cosby?
No, not just Bill Cosby. R. Kelly was trying to buy, I guess, one of these.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's the same. Like Bill Cosby was trying to buy a network too, but he had been trying for a long time to buy it.
Yeah.
And then that shit happened, so that was like, nah, not happening at all.
And I'm telling you, the next
I
thing
feel
that's
like
gonna go
that there's, you know, it's always a bigger picture to stuff. You know,
Yeah.
some stuff is set to be the way that it is, so that to have certain outcomes. So it kind of just like we know what we know, but there's always way more in a bigger scheme of things that we aren't aware of.
They're
Things
destroying male masculinity. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Point blank and simple. Anything we
It's a
black
trap.
people basically hold dear or hold as like our legacy
They take
in
it away.
entertainment, they're killing it off. Slowly but surely. Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Bob Marley, Tupac, Biggie. I mean, slowly they're killing it off. They want us to be content. You know what I'm saying? In the mindset, they want us to be content with the way things are going. So if we ever have another, I guess, I don't know, spark, who knows what happened? You know what I mean?
Right.
But we could have been did that like years ago, but people just, I don't know, fucked it up.
Yeah.
See, it's like they put us against the wall to make us not defend him. You know what I'm saying?
But okay, here's my thing about it. I feel like there's a big difference between like, okay, people, I feel like they want to defend his legacy, but what it turns out to be is people really saying he didn't do it. And so for me, that's where I'm conflicted, like when people talk about it, because, you know, they kind of just make it seem like it's all lies, and I don't feel like it's all lies. And I feel like there's enough evidence that he did do the stuff.
People can sin like crazy and do some of the most heartwarming things. I mean, it's just how things work. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, you gotta know, you gotta keep. This is why, like, even like topics like this, like I don't, as I said, I don't get into them. I don't really like, you know, I might discuss them here and there, but reason why like I don't take sides is because I know people who, you know, like they have a bad addiction that they'll do something that's real messed up, but then they have things when they'll do good things. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I try to judge someone based on the good things they do, but still keeping, you know, them sort of accountable for the bad things that they do.
Same. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna just like, you know, be like left or right. Like, you know, so I that's
you
how
are very confused.
For me,
you know,
I try to stay.
That's how you make. It's called staying neutral. It's called staying neutral.
You can't stay neutral, man.
Actually, it's sometimes best just to stay neutral because
not in all situations.
In most situations, trust me.
I definitely get what you're saying, because I do the same thing. Like, my whole thing is people have their reasons for doing certain things, and you have to understand that. I mean, like, people just function differently. So in certain situations, you have to kind of not be all negative about it. Like, you know, let them know that it was a fucked up thing, but at the same time, like, you know, try to.
It's like I have there's people who I know that are doing stuff, you know, well, I won't say I know, but I kind of get the gist from it. But if someone was supposed to ask me about it, like I wouldn't have no clue, because I'll be like, the only time they hang out with me is when we're gonna read books. But other than that, it's like people know me to a point where just like if we're not doing there's certain things we can't do around Jaman or with Jaman. So they come to me, okay, we're gonna talk about books and stuff like that. But when they're not around me, they're probably doing effing around doing something else. You know what I'm saying? So I don't judge them based on that, where I won't just hang out with them or say, hey, I'm not talking to you or whatever like that. If you're going to do something positive, okay. But if you're going to bring that shit around me, don't bring it around me. So that's how I stay neutral, where I don't like, just completely, demonize somebody based on, if they do certain things outside of what,
or judge them, really, because that's what it turns into a lot of times. Like, I get what you're saying, because I have friends that, live completely different lifestyles. Like, they range from literally everything. And it's just like, who am I to even you know, like, make this you. This is something that you do or something that you're going through. This is not your character, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have friends that say, yo, like, the only reason why they'll come, you know, that used to be affiliated with stuff when we were younger in high school. And I'm just like, bro, like, you know, he's just like, yeah, I'm coming over. I'm like, why? Just like, because when I come to you, like, when I'm at your house, that's how I don't get myself into shit, you know? So that's the space or the line I do with everybody. But I know once they leave my house, they're going to get themselves to some shit, you know what I'm saying? And I don't ask them about it. I don't want to know about it because, as you said, like, you know, when I know, I don't want to get into a situation where someone of authority is asking me questions and then now I know, you know what I'm saying? So with a lot of people, I don't ask them about that side of their life. So I don't get caught up in it. Like when JP shared a video with the girls, and then I saw the other video with the guy with R. Kelly, like, you know, get up out the chair and stuff like that. I told JP, I said, deadass, I've been seeing that video trending on Instagram. I only saw a meme with Sally Mae talking about, like, you know, when you find out how much money you own for, like, you know, student loans. And this whole time I thought that was a new movie scene, you know what I'm saying? Turns out it was R. Kelly. I'm like, oh shit. I didn't know. Yeah, so you know, my attention ain't on that stuff. So when people ask me about, oh, how do you feel about R. Kelly and this and that, I'm just like, bro, like, would I listen to his music? First of all, I don't listen to music. If you catch me listening to his music, it's probably because I didn't even know it was his song. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know I Believe I Could Fly was his song till this all shit came out. I'm like, oh shit, that's his song. Damn. You know? I probably bumped some of his songs before not even knowing it was his music. You know what I'm saying? So I just like to keep it neutral because when you choose one side, that's when all hell breaks loose. And
for all the allegations that we hear, majority of us are picking the side of that he's guilty already. If someone was asked a question, hey man, did you do this? And the person says no. Should you not believe this guy? Or should you?
I think this is like what I was saying. Like, I don't judge me not. I still don't think Bill Cosby did it, okay? So I think R. Kelly did it. And my reasoning is, like I said, I just feel like it may be a reason for the girls to lie. That may be true. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like the employees have a reason to lie. And y'all brought up the accountability factor for, you know, knowing that he was doing it. But like we stated, I don't feel like that's, you know, their part to, like, you see, I'm going to be honest, you know, I see people do illegal stuff all the time. Do I speak on it? Do I tell people? No. Not because I don't think that it's wrong, but because I feel like
you just mind your business.
I don't want to insert myself in anything that I don't need to.
Exactly.
You know, I have my own things. You know,
if that's the case, then you should never come out with it. It goes to the grave with you, right?
Yeah.
So now, if you're an employee,
no, I don't feel like that either. Because, you know, if it's something that's really that bad, it's going either way. You're going to tell somebody. But that's only if it's that bad. Like, some shit like that is probably, or, yeah, because I can't even say murder. Some shit like that is the only thing that I feel like
but my thing
would hurt me enough that I know. And I would have to, that would eat away, and I would have to say something to somebody. I don't know who the somebody would be, but I would say something because it eats away at you knowing something like that is going on. Like,
but here's my thing, right? The first time R. Kelly got accused of this, right, when he was pissed on the girl, right? Mm-hmm. That was the time for all those employees to say something right then and there.
Oh, good point.
But they did not. They kept it going.
They didn't.
So my thing is, now if you feel so bad as that you have to say something now, well, then you are legally an accessory to rape, basically. So now, if that's the case, my thing is, how can the people, the networks, then put basically well, it depends if R. Kelly gets convicted. If he gets convicted, then the networks just put a convicted child rapist on TV, interviewing them, admitting their guilt on TV. So if they're guilty, then they shouldn't be doing it on TV. You know what I'm saying? They should have a lawyer telling them you can't do it on TV. But so my thing is,
Okay.
if they're on TV now, no one's...
here's how that works. If in this situation, this is how we can now say, like, if it's legally necessary. If maybe, like, something's going on or whatever like that, and you said, yeah, mind my business, that's one thing. But if you're like for example, if you're staying in the working environment and stuff like that, and like, just being around that environment over and over and over as it happens continuously, then I can say, you're playing a part. Because, for example, if I'm around people and they, for example, I'm around somebody and they're smoking weed, immediately, like, I'm like, yo, all right, you know what? Cool. I might stay like 5 extra minutes and then I'm out. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm always around them on a regular basis, where it's like, I'm just like, I'm like content with it happening, then I wouldn't be shocked if someone thinks, yo, like, I'm also doing it too. You know what I'm saying? So if these people are, you saying, for years, like, they knew what was going on and still stayed in that circle of influence or in that connect, then they should sort of be held accountable. Because
I'll put it to you like this: when Mike Tyson got locked up, right?
For the dog.
When Tupac got locked up, he wasn't even in the room. He wasn't even in the room when that
He
girl
didn't
got
do
raped,
it.
right?
He didn't do it either, just like Bill.
Right. So now, of course, he didn't do it. He wasn't even
Well,
in the
why
room.
you say Tupac did it? Why you say
hold
Tupac
on.
ain't do it? R. Kelly did it.
Tupac didn't do it because, first, like I said, Tupac wasn't even in the room.
It's no way. Exactly.
So the fact that he was guilty by association, just for being, just for coming in and saying, like, telling everybody to just get the fuck out, just for being there, you're guilty. So,
well, then he also be in jail for something right now.
So as an employee, being there for years, you are guilty. You
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
hold on.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's the twist, though. The fact that they're on TV saying this stuff means that something's fucked up is going on, because they're on TV saying it. You understand?
Yep.
If you know that he's a convicted...
in like the case of Tupac and all, like, well, just him really. It was just one girl. Like, It wasn't multiple girls that like came out and spoke about it. It wasn't like, a whole big everybody confess session about the Tupac thing. So with him, he ain't do it. It's no way.
But you see how just that association, right, can get you locked up.
Yeah. And
it was just one person. Now imagine 50 other people corroborating one story. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying he's innocent, but maybe some of those stories he didn't do, and they are corroborating to fabricate these stories and say he did it. Like, for instance, the rumors and all that stuff about the heroin.
Like when there's like a
let
judge.
me ask you this thing, because this is like a lot of people keep saying that. So the one time that we know that he did it doesn't matter.
No, like I said,
that doesn't mean that he has a problem.
I'm not saying he's innocent.
Well, actually, I know. For example, when you said like, because first of all, I don't even know about what y'all talking about when it comes to Tupac. I'm just going off what y'all said. If so y'all saying like Tupac didn't do it, I don't know what y'all talking about. Okay, but yeah, he didn't do it, right?
Before your time, young man.
But the principle is like, if he did it, the principle is the fact that we know R. Kelly did it one time, he should be held accountable, right? So if that's the principle, when Tupac got in trouble for that one time, even though it wasn't true, he was held accountable. You know what I'm saying? So whatever happened to Tupac should then happen to R. Kelly if he was held accountable.
Tupac went to jail.
So then R. Kelly should go to jail. If that's the principle, if that's the principle we're going off of, whether
also,
or not it's
his
true.
Employees should also go too.
I definitely, and the parents, definitely the parents.
And the parents.
Don't forget about them. Do not.
That's child negligence. That's child negligence.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh, I couldn't.
That's child negligence.
That part makes me so mad.
So basically, there's not even it's just like I said, like if I think the guilty by association thing, like I think a lot of certain like laws and stuff, when I really like look into them, they need to make more guidelines, because content and contexts play a role. I think guilty by
they make these laws for. These laws aren't for white people; they're for us.
I think guilty by association, work like should be held like accountable if a person is actually participating or around that circle on a regular basis where it's like now like they know for a fact, because like for example, like you can know someone's doing something wrong and you cut them off, you know what I'm saying? Boom. So I wouldn't like say, okay, this person's associated because they cut the person off, they separated themselves. But if you continue to still be around that environment, that person, then you should be held accountable because you're not, you know what's going on. You're not trying to get out of that environment or say, you know what, I don't want no part in this. So technically, everybody should just get locked up. I mean, everybody should be held accountable, to an extent.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair.
And I don't want to go into this, but I mean, like, it's not, it's like, I don't know if fair or not.
Guilty by association should directly mean a willing participant in an act or a crime, bar none. There should be nothing else above or below that. That's an act. That's a willing participant. Just because you know something doesn't mean you have to go blurt your mouth out, and or even if you keep it to yourself, that doesn't mean you participated in the act. It doesn't mean you participate in the act just because you know something. Anybody can know. So, I can know 9/11 about to happen tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean I participated in the goddamn thing.
That's what I said.
I definitely agree, because that's like saying.
That's what I said. I don't really agree with guilty by association of someone like
it should be directly associated with the act or a crime.
Because if
you're below that is
associated, then you're enabling the crime. But if you just know about it, that doesn't mean that you're enabling anything.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's a good context that needs to be put in place, because I would say I'm not associated with a lot of people. Like, I'm aware, things go on, but I'm just like, I'm not about that life, and I don't really hang out with those people.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you can't associate me with that, with what they're doing.
Exactly.
Because I know what they're doing, but I'm not taking part in what they're doing. So you can't associate me with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It should be directly associated with an act or a crime.
Yeah, exactly. Like participating, like enabling it to happen.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Is that these laws are made for us, because we know black people, when we on the corner, we hang out in the group. So if one get caught with crack, all y'all niggas going down. Bar none, all y'all niggas get searched.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's made for us.
A part of it, to not even that it was made for us or not, I just feel like we don't, or not even, I'm not saying we as in terms of black people. I've seen, I watch lawyer movies and stuff like that, and I feel like sometimes people don't, because of lack of understanding content and context, they don't understand how to articulate, like how you say we're articulating it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Put us in a courthouse, like they'd be like, unless they really like trying to do something to us, they'd be like, oh shit, that actually does make sense. He has a point. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when a lot of people, they get into these situations, they don't know how to really think about it and think if they're really in a context innocent or not innocent. For me, I personally know that like I'm always innocent because I don't do anything stupid. So when I get in situations where I've been deemed not innocent, I rationalize and I articulate my way out. You know what I'm saying? Almost like I ain't taking no fault for nothing. But some people, when they get in their emotions, you know what I'm saying, they get all whatever like that, they start to overthink it. And that's when they mess themselves up. Like, I remember back in high school, yes, Mom. Hold on.
Well, let me say something right quick. One thing, right, I think people need to stop doing, like, I think what the entertainment industry and what the news and media tends to do is, like, we tend to see and act and react on what is put in front of us versus us waiting and see what the actual facts are before we actually make our judgment. So, I said, with Michael Jackson and Bill Cosby, like, no one really knows what the fuck really happened. Right. Really, you know what I'm saying?
Bill Cosby
I personally think he didn't do it. I just personally think he did it because the stories.
He did it
because for me, it's like, okay, why would you first go to his room by yourself during times when you know you can do something? But I mean, you didn't. I mean, it's not like the guy forced you to his room and drugged you up forcefully. Like, here, take this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just think some of that shit is just full of shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And
So like
most of
that's
the
why
stories
like
were also proven to be full of shit too. So I don't know.
so like and I think with celebrity topics like so much goes on in that industry and in that world. You know what I'm saying? That like sometimes I don't. That's what's like when I say I just stay neutral and I don't really have. Oh my gosh, mom! Like to the point that like I'm on the phone, man. Because I know so much goes on and stuff like that. That's why I just say, let me keep, something neutral because even as a rational person and stuff like that, even if I'm good at analyzing, like it's just always information overload. You know what I'm saying? So when people ask me like, oh, what do you think? I'm like, well, honestly, this is what I sort of think, but I'm not saying what I think is end all be all because, there's so much goes on. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not interacting with these people on a day-to-day basis and stuff like that. We just see them, when we're seeing them on like TV or, music and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, this is like an as of now opinion.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like they say, oh, it's like, and when you don't really know somebody personally, you can't really make a sound judgment on them because, like I said, there's people. One of the hardest things I have to learn about psychology is like personas. And when I learned that, I was just like, oh, like I realized while I might be the same person I am to everybody, because I just see myself as Jamond. People like based on how they perceive things, they'll switch up when they're around me. You know what I'm saying? But then when they're with somebody else, they put on, they're another way. And when I understood that, I'm like, oh shit, this is why so much people are inconsistent with what they say. So even with all these celebrities, like we only know their persona when they're like, based on what the media says, but also based on, when they're entertaining us, we don't know their personal lives. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Just think about people we know, what we do personally. You know what I'm saying? Like I could go do something fucked up, brush it off and go out into the world and smile and do some nice shit and go back and do some fucked up shit in close corners, Yeah. So it's tough to really like, say what matters. And then when you have people, saying things, there's so much variables that play in a role with people. You know what I'm saying? People are probably are scared. You know what I'm saying? So they're probably talking up all truthful because they're afraid. Some people are like, fuck that shit. I ain't trying to be a part of this. I'm going to keep my mouth. Like there's just so much variables in situations like this that it's just really tough, to really make, sound judgment, which is why I always stay neutral on stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, you can stay neutral to a certain point, but after the facts come out, I mean, if
even the facts ain't really facts, man. Like that's what I'm saying to you. Like it's like with this stuff, like it's just like the only facts that is relative is like scientific facts. So like, gravity's pulling your ass to the floor. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of, like what people do and their characters and their personalities and over a year of spans, like, for example, maybe he did do it when he was in his younger years because he was all horny and shit. And then, 30 years later, he's like, damn, I grew out of that shit. That was fucked up. Like with a lot of boys, you know what I'm saying? Like the way you think when you were like the way I thought 3 years ago about life isn't the same I thought about, how I think about life now, you know what I'm saying? While there's some people who they do a lot of stupid shit in their youth because they think they could get away with it. And when they get older, they regret it because they were ignorant. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, so for example, let's say maybe he did that shit, you know what I'm saying? And as he was going through the process, he's just like, this is kind of fucked up. I need to stop doing this shit. And now we're bringing it back. You know what I'm saying? And he's just like, damn, it's just like, damn, like, I didn't do it because if he says he do it, he's done. So he's better off saying like I didn't do it because he doesn't want the reputation of his life to go on. There's so much variables that go into especially like preservation of your life and your how people perceive you and stuff like that.
Right.
Which is why personally I'm glad that like there's a lot of things I didn't do that I wanted to do when I was in high school. That I'm looking back like like if I did that shit, I would have had like some baggage under me. You know what I'm saying? But I got a clean slate because I didn't get to, my mom and, my parents held me accountable as Caribbean parents. They didn't make me fuck around. They didn't make me, go do whatever I wanted. They put like, rules and guidelines, explained why. My mom was always saying, like when you get older, you don't want to know when you're older, you did this that won't serve you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how my parents were.
I feel like that could go either way though, because my boyfriend's Jamaican. His parents, they're Jamaican parents. So like he just, made a lot of mistakes, and it's kind of like with parents like that type of stuff as an adult, like they still don't let him forget it though. So that's the one thing about it. Like they still hold him accountable for every single thing. Like it was a lot, I guess. Every big mistake that he's made. So it's like, his sister, she graduated with a master's, she's on a good path. And so I think it kind of goes both ways. And I really don't, it kind of comes down to a nature versus nurture thing. Like you can want to do a lot of things, but if you don't have that type of nurturing environment to actually get the positive things that you want to do done, it's not going to happen. Like,
see, nurture plays a role.
That's a good point.
To the point, but it's not even nurture. It's what we're not doing here in America, where it's like there's no standard of accountability. Even back in certain cultures, the way certain cultures were set up were really standards of accountability. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have a line of accountability, people just do whatever the heck they want. You know what I'm saying? And feel no remorse when they don't think like. Is like even moral values, you know what I'm saying? Technically, scientific, laws like gravity. It's just like, moral standards like, yo, this is another person. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? If someone doesn't think moral laws matter, they'll do whatever the F they want because of their own personal desires.
And also
accountability. And I tell my neighbor this a lot. I said, especially a lot of little kids here now, one thing with a lot of little kids growing up here in America, like they don't get to be held accountable for anything because they think I'm a child. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And they know what they're doing. And when you don't draw that line, what you end up having is people who either mess up a lot when they're kids till the karma carries over into their adulthood, or, they just build up a bunch of karma till they get cut down when, it doesn't go how they thought it would go when they were a child. You know what I'm saying?
Do y'all have any?
Because
sounds like Christianity.
Do y'all?
Huh?
Do y'all have?
What happened?
Y'all got any closing remarks?
I got my closing remarks. Let me do my closing remarks first, since I got to run. In terms of all this, my mindset now is that, these are touchy topics where, we can look into it. And sadly, we will never really know, I think living in the time period, like living in the moment of it happening, we won't really know the truth. But maybe the next generations, to come, when this is all and maybe R. Kelly's not alive anymore, and we move on. Man, maybe that generation will be the one to find out the truth. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
No.
It don't make sense. It's like in the moment, when things are happening in the moment, the answers don't really come. It's sometimes after years. After, that's when the answers come. Like a lot of these things, I think the answers ain't. It's like like with the Martin Luther King or the Bob Marley thing. You know what I'm saying? People are coming up saying like, yeah, we played a role in doing this. You know what I'm saying? So in the moment, everybody's like, oh my God, what's going on? And now years later, someone comes out and say, yeah, we fucked around. You know what I'm saying? So that's when the truth comes. So we might not even be alive to hear the truth, but maybe our children's children will figure out the truth, and they'll have a video like this to watch.
Man, that kids don't even know what the fuck. Man, never mind.
They probably don't care anyway. They're probably like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna go play some video games. I don't blame them. Yeah.
That's life. Where's JP at? Oh, hey, I never read that. Looked at that. Right.
That's why. Yeah, man. So, thank y'all for coming through. I mean, anybody got anything else to say?
A YouTube video.
Okay, just real quick. Is he guilty or innocent?
Good
Hey,
question.
have a good night. I ain't answering them those questions.
Guilty.
I would say guilty on some of it, innocent on some of it too. I mean, overall he's guilty, but I'm just saying he's not guilty of all of it. Let me say that.
So this is guilty with evidence or without?
Guilty with the asterisk mark.
So this whole conversation was to like come to the conclusion if he's guilty or not.
Well, I mean, that's just one of the questions.
Because I mean, like, you know, like I said, you know, there's people who, cause I thought we were talking about money, like, you know, like I thought when Kufu started, we were talking about like, you know, in terms of like, you know, kill the man, but not his legacy. Because I would like, you know, I would agree with that. Where like, you know what, hold him accountable, but like, you know, don't make all his work, you know,
What I'm saying is you don't have to publicize it if you're gonna kill the. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to kill his legacy by publicizing everything he's doing.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't even have an answer. Honestly, I'm speaking, you know, I figured I'd just, you know, come on here because I promised JP I'd, you know, I'd be on a call. But this might sound fucked up, but I really don't care about what's going on because, you know, I gotta eat. Like, to me, this is all a distraction because you know what's more important than this? The cost of Facebook ads are rising, and with that, it's going to be harder to make money online. I'm more worried about that. I don't even play into these media, you know, entertainment stuff unless I see someone post it.
All right, that's a bet, man. Well, that being said, man, thank y'all for coming through.
You're welcome. See you later.
Yeah.
Peace, y'all.